Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Brazil time, and it's time for class. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time for my partner MC, who is all the way in Canada. If you don't know us, if you don't know me, I'm Renata or Renata. I'm an English teacher. I have been one for the past 15 years, and I've never lived abroad. I'm here to help you reach the English that opens doors to all of your professional dreams. You know, the English that unfortunately only 2% of Brazilians actually speak, of Brazilian professionals actually speak. So let's get going. Today we have a very a class full of practical tips. It's not a practical class, but it's a class full of techniques and practical tips to help you finally, reach the confidence that gets your heart beating normally, lose that anxiety. That's what we want to reach tonight. That's what we want to get, all right? So let's invite my dear partner MC into the live. There she is. Okay. Hey, partner.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is great and ready to learn.
Yes, everybody. Hi, Fernando. Hi, Paula. We have some familiar faces here and new faces. Welcome aboard if you're new. Welcome back if you are a familiar face. Renata, Luciana, Ana. Well, partner, today, even though, I'm going to be sharing my experience and techniques and strategies that we teach our students, right? I also want to hear a lot from your experience because you live that. You live English every single day. You've been living English for years now. 3 years? I've lost track. Okay, 4 years now. So you more than anyone can share and can complement, my strategies, my comments here. And I would, love for you to interrupt me whenever. And also, each one of you here, hi, Mai, we have a gold digger here tonight. Welcome, Mai, one of our students. Well, I want everybody, you guys know that we like asking you and hearing your opinion and your feedback as well throughout the class. So I'm gonna throw the ball back at you sometimes and ask you, if you feel like that, if you have ever tried that technique, how you feel about it, if you think it might work for you, if that could be the solution. So anyway, I want to hear what you think about the strategies as well. Okie dokie, so let's get started here. Okay, so basically we're going to go over 3 main points and strategies, techniques to help you get confident, when you are speaking English at work, even though, even if your English is not perfect. And so I was kind of thinking, like, who am I talking to? What do I want from this class? What do I want to teach them? Where do I want them to get? So first of all, the title is right here. So you don't feel confident speaking English at work. Well, here's what I teach my students. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to share the techniques that I share with my students. So who is this class for? Is this class for you? Are you the one that's going to be benefiting from it? First of all, this class is for anyone who is already studying, working on your English, reaching or trying to reach the 2% English, going for the 2% English. If you are already studying, and you don't feel like you are ready, you don't feel confident enough, even though you are aiming at the 2% English, you are doing your part studying, but you still feel insecure, nervous, your heart races. Or if you're not necessarily doing that yet, you're not necessarily on the road and you need a quick solution, you are already, going through difficult situations and you are feeling frustrated and you're like, Renata, help me. Okay, I don't have a lot of time. I really need to work on my confidence now, regardless of working on knowledge, regardless of working on information, grammar, vocabulary. What can you do, Renata, to help me today? What can you do, MC, to help me today?
Okay.
These are the strategies, okay, that we're aiming at. If you are studying and still feel insecure, or if you're not studying, if you feel maybe even more insecure and you want help to solve that problem, at least temporarily, at least make your life a little lighter, and at a meeting, at a video call or a phone call with a client, with your boss, with anyone at work. Remember that we are talking about professional situations, okay? All right, can I start then? Can I go to number 1?
Yes, you can.
Okay, awesome. So number 1 is stop confusing feedback with epic fail. Have you ever seen those epic fail videos? I love the epic or fail videos where a video starts, someone starts doing something really awesome in the video and they stop. We have to vote whether it's going to be epic or it's going to be a failure. So an epic fail, if you don't know what this means a big mistake, a huge mistake, an epic fail. So feedback is not the same as an epic fail. Feedback, someone correcting you, someone telling you you said something wrong, someone maybe just showing you that there's something wrong with what you said or what you wrote, is not enough reason for you to, oh my God, I can't believe I made that mistake. Oh my God, I can never do that again. And just, be your worst enemy. Let that freeze your English instead of letting it grow, letting it make your English grow or make your English evolve. And one of MC's, in my opinion, okay, MC, one of your great personality traits is that you are very open to feedback. Your ears are open to feedback, and you don't feel like, you don't suffer like that, like, oh my God, I made a mistake, and then you don't let it freeze you. It's kind of the opposite. It works like, fuel for your for you to improve. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about that before I go on.
Perfect. Yeah, that's true. And it connects to something that I was, as I was taking my notes, knowing that this would be our subject today. One of the things that I thought of was actually if you're less judgmental, and if you judge less, not only your English, but others as well, while they're trying to speak as well, and while they're trying to communicate, it can be like via email or written form, or just give that away, like forget about it. And let's understand and acknowledge that people are going to make mistakes. And as long as they can be aware of the mistakes, and that includes yourself, that will be a great progress for you. You can see that as an opportunity to evolve, like Renata was mentioning, and not as something to be ashamed of. So that's a great tip. And that's right. I mean, it's part of me, so I don't suffer a lot with that. I suffer if I'm realizing that I'm not being understood. So that gets me more than, oops, I made a mistake. And to be honest, I've made so many embarrassing mistakes. By now, I'm numb to that.
I don't feel a thing anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't even bother anymore. But again, let's be less judgmental. I see a lot of people who actually speak great English, and they run away from opportunities to speak, to write, to show their English and their capacity to be part of a discussion in a second language, just because they don't feel comfortable enough.
That's I don't know which
They're afraid
sector.
of the judgment, right?
Yeah, I see that a lot as well. Exactly the situation you just described. Someone who is more than ready, more than capable, and is letting that fear of mistakes get in the way. Don't do that. If you like that, if it resonates inside of you, if you feel like that's something you do, hit the like button here, hit the little heart, so we know that you're like, you know what, I think that's me. I think that's going to help me. I think I take my mistakes too seriously. I don't want you to think that mistakes are not to be worked on. one of the pillars of our method is being accurate. You know, we know the importance of correct English, but there's a fine line between aiming at that, aiming at accuracy, and letting and confusing feedback with epic fail. So, you know, listen to this change, just this shift in your mindset. Try to shift it like this, all right? Instead of thinking that mistakes are something bad and fearing, oh my God, I fear mistakes. My greatest fear is making mistakes. Change that, switch, okay? This for, I am always looking for new mistakes. I made this mistake, I'm gonna fix it, and tomorrow I'll make a new one. Isn't that so life-like? Life, that's life. We get older, we get more mature, and we are always making mistakes. We keep making mistakes. And the more those mistakes are new, because that means we are trying more, we are challenging ourselves, you know, we are going out of our comfort zone. It's great, actually. So stop thinking that you should be afraid of mistakes. Aim at making new mistakes every day. This way you will not be comfortable and go, that's okay, I don't have to change, I don't have to improve my English. No, you will improve. You will listen and
That's also progress.
Sorry?
That's also known as progress.
Progress. You can't make progress if you're perfect. Progress only comes from imperfection, from mistakes. So, you know, just aim at that. Aim at new mistakes. I'm going to fix my mistakes of today and I'm going to make new ones tomorrow. That can be very helpful, you know, for your mindset when you are at a meeting, entering a call, whatever challenge you have at work, in your daily routine, or something that might come up soon. Maybe you are, you know, preparing for that. So that's my tip, okay? What about the technique itself? Okie dokie. All right. So techniques for this first tip, right? The first tip is stop confusing feedback with epic fail. So the first technique, I'm gonna separate it into two because your problem might be more related to input, which means I freeze because I don't understand what's going on, what people are saying. You know, that's a little bit more serious than the problem in the output. When you have a problem in the input and you don't have time to fix it, remember the emergencies I mentioned at the beginning? What can you do? You can learn different and polite ways of asking the person to repeat, to explain a little differently, to say it another way, or to speak a little slower, you know? That's something that you can do. And MC, you had mentioned something about active listening. Was that related to what I just said?
Yes, a little bit, because then if you really focus in paying attention at the other person or whoever you're talking to, that can facilitate things for you. It make things easier in a way that you're going to be focusing and understanding, and then you pause, create your own thoughts or create the narrative that you want to put out, and then you speak up. So I guess this is value added tip for one reason, because if you don't do that, you're so worried about what you have to say. Sometimes even if you say it right, you're missing the timing, you're missing the point. Nobody's talking about that anymore, you know? So don't worry about speaking too much. Worry about understanding and then making the point if necessary.
Yeah, you're so you have a, you know, a terrific point there. I'm going to talk a little bit more about being anxious, you know, but that's so what happens when you are feeling insecure. You think that you're going to fail, and then you are 3 steps ahead of yourself. You don't listen because you're thinking about what to say, you know, and then that could backfire. That could be, you know, an awful solution. So learning different ways, techniques, right? If your problem is with the input, if you don't understand very well what is being said, or maybe even written, there are different ways that you can show control. You can show that you master English, you know, at least a little. Make you a little calmer, like, oh, I know how to ask politely, formally, you know, if I'm talking to someone that's very, very like major in my company, I can do that. My question for you right now is, I want to know, hit the like button or send an emoji, a thumbs up, if you want me to provide that list for you. A list of, you know, 5, 6 different ways from formal to informal. You know, ways to ask, ways of asking, like, excuse me, could you say that again? Could you repeat that? Instead of asking, always, you know, always asking the same old way. Do you want that? Maybe you don't want it. Maybe you're fine. Maybe you don't need it. Okay, I see some hearts going up here. Leave an emoji in the comments, a thumbs up emoji for me to know, you know, because if not enough people want it, I won't do it. I want to know if you want that list. If you want that list, I'll be happy to share it on stories, and I'll be happy to share it on Telegram as well. We have a Telegram channel where we share extra material, you know, this kind of thing, because on stories, it disappears. And on Telegram, it can be a cute PDF file that you can download and save forever and for always. All right, Marcelo wants it. Mai wants it too. Okay, all right. Angochilian, I don't know if it's your name, but anyway, you wanted to? Oh, okay, now I see. Now I see some volume. Awesome. What if you have a problem with the output? If you have a problem with the output, which means producing language, I freeze, I make mistakes. I'm so scared of making mistakes when I speak or when I write. I have to write an email. It takes me hours, you know, that kind of thing. If your problem is with the output, listen to me. This is the number one mistake that leaves most people in the same place. When someone corrects you, your teacher, it can be your teacher too, okay? That's not only something for real life, but for real work situations. Teacher or someone corrects you. Don't say, yes, yes, yes. Don't do that. Repeat what is supposed to be the right sentence. Say the right word. Say whatever you should have said. If you say yes, you are just moving on, probably because you're nervous. You're just moving on and you're not actually learning. You're not actually forcing your brain or forcing your lips, forcing your whole system to interject that. So if you use the wrong word and someone says, oh, do you mean this word? And you're like, yes. You say, yes, this word. I mean this word. So you say what was corrected. Stop saying yes for your teacher, you know, to your teacher as a way to demonstrate you understood the feedback. That's not helpful at all. All right? No, yes. Say what is right. If it's in an email, you can exercise that because you will be by yourself, right? Or maybe surrounded by people, but you have time. If there's anything that you see is wrong, read it 2 or 3 times out loud to yourself. So you, oh, okay, wait, this is the correct word. No, what I mean to say is this word, oh, this word, or the whole sentence, or, you know, anything that is corrected, is being corrected at that moment. So stop saying yes. Yes won't take you anywhere. No, it won't. No, it won't. Got it? Got it? Gold diggers that are watching?
We did.
Say that to them as well. But anyway, it's always good to remember. Okay, now number 2. I think I got it. Right. The second tip of the evening, all right, is the news anchor technique. What is the news anchor technique to gain confidence, to feel more confident at work when you are speaking English? We may not realize this. We may not identify it so well. But people on TV, journalists and news anchors, they have a specific way of speaking. They have speech therapists. They lose their accent many times. So, and they speak a little slower than Us. Imagine, compare a teenager talking to William Bonner or Maju Coutinho. Compare them. Of course, they speak much slower. They have to be very well understood. And when you do that, when you reduce the speed, you know, that's the technique. Slow down. How much? A lot? To be a hell? No.
Just a tad.
Yes, just a tad. 10% slow down your speech. When you speak a little slower than normally, than usual, you give yourself time to think. Your brain sometimes just needs a split second to decide for a more elevated word instead of the basic word comfortable. Okay, I don't have time, I'm gonna go for the comfortable one. But if I have a little more time, maybe half a second, a split second, I will be able to choose better. I will make better choices. My brain will make better choices. So slow down a little. Your pronunciation will come out more beautiful. If you are working on your pronunciation, especially, right? If you're working on your pronunciation exercises and so on, do that. Slow down a little and put all of that in practice. You will see how rewarding, how great you will feel when you do that. MC, do you have any comments on slowing down the pace?
Yeah, and it's usually something that I don't do automatically. But every time I have the chance, it's great. So try that. People, don't you worry about people like falling asleep while you're saying something, or don't you worry about people not being patient enough. What matters is what you're saying, what you're communicating. And if that's what it takes for you to organize your thoughts a little more, just go for it. Just go for it. You're gonna see the benefit, and you're gonna see you're just gonna feel better right away.
For sure. And this is something that I started doing, because you may look at me and go like, oh, English teachers, they are 100% confident about everything they do and every time they open their mouths. Of course, that's not true at all. Every time I had in the past, right, not nowadays, but every time I had to talk to superiors, bosses, present something to a team of other teachers or coordinators, directors, people that were, you know, at the same level as I was or more. You know, I was nervous as well. And sometimes, and I started realizing that when I wanted to speak really fast, that actually got in my way. So I was like, okay, I think you're a little nervous, you're a little anxious. I think you should slow down a little bit and go back to your normal self, you know. So I started doing that, and I realized how much it helped me. So, you know, it also helps my students a lot. Every time I go, like, slow down just a little bit. You don't have to speak that fast. Give yourself a little more time to think. It's amazing. I want you to give it a try. Next time you have a call, a meeting, give it a try, you know, let us know. Just to show, to demonstrate, okay, we're gonna have a little demo here. Oh, let me see here. Fernando wrote something, right? I pick up a call from a British CNN journalist. Can you imagine how clear and slow she speaks? Oh, you picked up a call? I don't understand exactly what you meant here. I picked up a call. All right. Okay, so MC, I want you to respond to the question like as if you were at a job interview as Lady Gaga. Okay, you're Lady Gaga at a job interview.
Okay.
The first, I want you to respond, you know, anxious, fast, trying to simulate that you are nervous.
I'm Lady Gaga. Oh my God.
Lady Gaga at a job interview. So, Miss, I forgot her last name. Okay, so Miss Gaga. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Miss Gaga?
Well, I'm not sure. I've never thought about that because I try to live in a moment and I try to be like present and extract the best of every experience that I have here. So I don't know. I'm not sure. That question is a little tricky. But let me say, I just don't want to be bigger or like I maybe I'll go for more movies. Maybe I wanna win another Oscar. But that's it. In terms of music, I've accomplished everything that I could possibly accomplish in my life. I'm just awesome, and I know that my fans absolutely love me. And I guess that's it.
That's it. All right. So she spent like half of the answer thinking about what she was actually going to say. And, I don't know. I don't know a lot of I don't knows. Now, pause. You're going to speak a little slower. Okay. She was trying to speak fast. And every time anyone tries to speak fast, things are not going to work as well. So now MC is going to respond the same question, but she will speak, the slowing down 10% using the news anchor technique. Okay, go ahead, MC. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Gaga?
Well, can you believe that I've never actually thought about that so further into the future? I tend to live in a moment and explore all the opportunities that I have in front of me, which, to be honest, I'm so grateful to be part of, to be like 30-ish years old and be part of great movies and be part of great productions and be awarded with so many great songs. It's already so magical. I try to not to focus too much on where I'm going and try to leave the moment and enjoy and cherish the great things that life is putting in front of me now.
Wow. Can you all see the difference? Can you see how well she chose the vocabulary? How
With
far she went, how deep she went with the answer.
that was
And oh, sorry.
by the way, we didn't practice that. That was cold call.
I was gonna mention that right now because you may think that we rehearsed that. No, she had no idea what I was gonna ask her. What was gonna happen. So it was really something. Oh, okay. My phone is. I think I can. Okay, I'm not gonna touch it. Okay, but anyway, so it's really clear how much control of her English she had, and it's MC. It's not. She's okay already. She feels confident. It's not like she has an issue, but the fact that you speed up ruins everything already. It doesn't give you time to think and to actually choose the best English that you can. So that's the second technique. All right, I'm going to go very quickly into the final tip of the evening. All right, final tip for you is fake it till you make it. Oh, you might think like, I'm not supposed to fake things. Faking is bad. Mama taught me faking is bad.
I know.
Look,
Disappointed.
what I mean what I mean is if you, whenever you have the chance to practice, whenever you have the chance to rehearse, you go in like this, you're not going to be ready for the real stuff. If you have a teacher, if you are having conversation classes, if you and your friends meet up to speak English and you're always like, yeah, I don't know, like yesterday, yeah, what I did, what I didn't do. You have to put yourself in that environment, simulate the real deal. And it's not necessarily about what you're going to talk about, only that. But if you get in an activity, get into a class or get into a call that is not so important as the ones you're usually nervous in, and you don't go like, okay, I'm going to pretend, I'm going to be that person that I am whenever I am at that meeting. I'm going to switch to that mindset. I'm going to pretend, or I'm going to do everything I can to show my best, to prove myself, because usually we feel nervous at situations where we have to prove ourselves, where people are going to judge the quality of our work, the quality of our English, right? So simulate that. Try to simulate that as much as you can. If you are having trouble at a meeting, and you get into another type of practice of a class or, you know, study, and you don't simulate that to really try to improve when the real stuff happens, you know, how can you? It's impossible to go from, oh, in class, it's okay, I'm just going to respond whatever. Oh, I'm just going to respond or to talk about things superficially. I'm not going to do my best. I'm not going to try my hardest. I'm not going to show my best English. Show your best English, just like you need to when you are at work.
Test,
Use the techniques. Sorry?
test the waters.
Test the waters, exactly. You know, so thinking that things will work out and you will one day get into a meeting and not feel nervous just because, you know, just because a miracle happened. No. So try to simulate that. Fake it till you make it. Put yourself in situations, put yourself in that mindset of pressure, of I need to do my best, of people are, you know, probably going to evaluate me, assess me somehow. And then you will get used to it. Then we go back to number one. Feedback is okay. It's not an epic fail. You will start getting more used to the mistakes you make. You will start getting understanding it's natural, you know, to make mistakes and so on. So that's my final tip. Fake it till you make it.
How are you all feeling after all those tips? And I know the confidence is a concern for a lot of people. So it's not so much about learning English and learning new vocabulary and learning grammar or things like that. It doesn't matter. You need to actually experience all of that, put everything in practice, and don't be afraid of failing and don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's part of the journey. And it's something that you should never be ashamed of. Never, ever. Okay? You already have a second language. They're close to mastering it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal. Just
You're
like
bilingual. Yeah, you're bilingual, baby. We like to remind you of that, right? And see that it's already a lot if you are exposing yourself, like putting yourself out there, really, at a meeting, you know, at a global company with a client that is a foreigner. Good for you, you know, appreciate that, and you know, give yourself a tap on the back, you know, like I deserve this. It's okay to make mistakes. Make new mistakes every day, right?
and we're not going to judge each other. We are going to help each other. Is that
Yes.
can I count on you for that? Okay. And we'll leave with
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining us tonight. If you have just, you know, stepped into the class will be saved here on IGTV. It will be saved on YouTube. It will become a podcast. So we are all over social media on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify as well. So you can listen again. You can catch the class later whenever you have a little more time, right? Maybe you missed the beginning here tonight. So anyway, those were the 3 tips with techniques. We gave you tips, explained why, and gave you the tools to actually, you know, feel more confident when speaking English at work. We don't want you to miss out on any opportunities because you feel like you can't do it. We want you to feel like you can, you know, and go through the journey of the 2% English with confidence, getting knowledge, structuring your English, accurate, clear-cut and elevated, but feeling confident at the same time, not suffering, going like this before a meeting or a call.
we don't want
Thank you so much, partner.
Thank you. And I'll see you all next Wednesday, same time. Now it's 7 p.m. Eastern time and 9 p.m. Brazil time.
And may I suggest something? If you have any further questions, I think you should ask MC, you know, any further questions in the comments about her experience, about how she handles, you know, meetings, how she handled them at the beginning, how she handles them now. I think it would be a great exchange of information and experience, you know. Maybe she can respond to you there or through stories, but send your questions away. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, partner. See you all next week. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Brazil time.
7 p.m. Eastern time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.